So I'm Dean Kehler. I'm one of the co-chairs of the committee that was involved in this, and I just have a couple of thank yous and a couple of closing comments. First of all, thank you, Nick. As the dean said, your work shining a light on problems around the world, notably human trafficking, is just incredibly important. And I'm sure everybody here will agree you have a very nice manner of shining a bright light on these horrible problems, not just around the world, but also here, but also giving us a sense that there are things we can do and reasons to be hopeful. And that can't be easy to do, and you do it brilliantly. So thank you so much. I have a few thank yous, and the first one is to the men in the room, both of you. Now, there are a few more than that. And the men in the room and I share something, I suspect, which is a love and affection for being in the company of smart and powerful women. And we're lucky to be able to do that. And just speaking personally, I've spent my whole life with smart and powerful women, and I'd like to recognize two of them. One being my mother, who's not here, and the second being my wife, who is. And as my wife pointed out, that warmed me up for Dean Melise. There are some Penn students in the room, and I'd like you to raise your hands. Where are you? Okay, thank you so much for coming. It's end of the year, it's finals, it's springtime. Whatever level of your studies you're at, I know there are other things you could be doing, and thank you so much for coming. I want to, again, one last time, recognize the sponsors. Let's start with BlackRock and the BlackRock Women's Initiative Network. BlackRock, BlackRock is not a 100-year-old company, but what it is the biggest and most prestigious money manager in the world. And I think they're a good example for us of a couple of things. One is how quality and commitment can turn into great achievements, which I think is very relevant for everything we've talked about today. And then also relevant to what we talked about today is that they're giving back to the community. So BlackRock, thank you so much. I want to recognize Ellen Capito, who is just an extraordinary person. She's a leader, she's a nursing overseer, a mother, a wife, a practicing nurse, and was a fabulous person organizing all this. So Ellen, thank you so much. I want to recognize President Gutman for her leadership and her inspiration. We try not to make this too much of a Penn commercial, but President Gutman, when she became president of Penn, announced something called the Penn Compact, which set forth some guiding principles for the university, one of which involved collaboration, and another one of which is about engaging both locally and globally. And since this is, by its nature, an interdisciplinary effort that's focused on urban women in the United States, but also all around the world, I think we hit the mark, and it's because of President Gutman's inspiration. I'd like to thank Andrea Mitchell, Nick again, and especially Dean Melise. Dean Melise is a powerhouse, as you certainly saw. For those of you who hadn't met her before, you will see her again. We have your email addresses. She's a global leader in women's health. She's a terrific leader, mentor, thinker, scholar, and especially a doer. And this is all because of you. So, Afaf, thank you so much. Just last in terms, two more in terms of recognition. Nick was here based on support by the Beatrice Renfield Foundation, and Jean Renfield Miller and her husband are in the audience, and you enabled us to have Nick, and Nick made the meeting, and so thank you so much for doing that. And then lastly, in the thank yous, and then a couple of parting comments. The University of Pennsylvania provided a tremendous amount of support here, and I want to thank everybody throughout the university who is here or not and who supported. But I particularly want to recognize some of the staff at the School of Nursing, led by Wiley Thomas, but also Monica, Kathy, Desiree, Elena, and anybody else. I apologize if I left your names out, but this is fabulous effort. So, just out of curiosity, we're thinking that we would like to do another one of these at some point not too far down the road, possibly in the West Coast, possibly even in Europe. So I'd just like a show of hands. Does anybody think this would be a worthwhile effort to try and repeat in another venue? Does anybody think this is a good effort? Okay, well, thank you very much. We think so too. I guess my parting comment is we really want this not to be an event, but to be part of a continuum and a call to action. We really want you to be involved. We have tried to collect contact information so that we can stay in touch with you. We would very much like you to stay in touch with us. In this book, in your package, on the inside back page, is information about how to connect with us via Facebook, Twitter, and the Urban Women's Health e-commons that we talked about before. And please stay engaged and stay involved. And if there are local or other charities or NGOs or efforts that are directed at this, please do get involved in those. We're also extremely excited about what's going on at Penn in this area. We have and I'm going off script here a little bit, we have a challenge grant for an endowed professorship in urban women's health. It's half funded. Half funding won't get us a professor. So those of you who are so inclined or have ideas or contacts in the foundation world who you think might be interested in such a thing, please let us know. And then, of course, the Global Women's Health Center that Dean Melise talked about is just an incredibly important effort at Penn, and I think it's incredibly important for the movement and for the continuation of all the good work that we heard about here today. So please stay involved, tell your friends, be involved with Twitter and Facebook and all that sort of thing. Give us comments on this so that when we do another one, we can learn from our experience. And thank you so very, very, very much for being here and for taking out half your day to support Urban Women's Health. Thank you.